There was a time when, before my husband and I were married, we were still just working together, trying to open up a branch office on the north side of Chicago for a company that we were working with. And we had gone on an appointment. And it didn't, the whole appointment just was kind of weird. And when we left, my husband said to me, "That man was lying." I said, "How do you know he was lying?" And my husband said, "Because every time he would say something, I would see the words he was actually saying, but hear what he was really telling us. So I saw the truth, but I heard the lie." And I was like, "What?" And then he gave me a few examples, and I was blown away, totally mind blown. I thought, how is this possible? I said, "Are you reading his thoughts?" He said, "No, I'm not reading his thoughts, but I'm being shown what he's really saying in his mind, the truth, versus the lies that are coming out of his mouth." And then he told me about how this has happened to him many times. And I was just totally fascinated and scared out of my wits at that point too, because I thought, oh my gosh, I have to make sure I never tell a little white lie or anything to this man, because then he might get on my case and not want to work with me. My name is Laura. My husband is behind the camera. You will hear him. And these are stories about him and other individuals who have this ability to use more than one of their senses at the same time. It is so cool. There's a medical term for it. You could look it up. It's called synesthesia. And people can hear colors, or when they see like a person, they see colors around the person, or just all different things, being able to use two senses at one time. And we realized recently that my husband has a lot of these abilities. And from my perspective, I think we all do. We're just not tuned into it. So I'm going to ask my husband to join in now in the conversation, because I'm overjoyed with excitement and wanting to tell so much, but my mind is going blank at the moment as well.
No, but you're absolutely right. We all have that ability. Mm-hmm. You know, people think that it's special. I always find it fascinating when we see these documentaries that our kids watch, and they put labels on in the bit, like these special labels, savant and who knows what else, right?
Right.
Because they think it's supernatural, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything. I think that the disadvantage that someone with the abilities, whatever the abilities are that someone has, the disadvantage that is with that individual is the fact that they think it's normal. They think everybody else has it.
Yes.
You know, and until you guys showed me that video, I didn't realize that this was something that's so different than anybody else. You know that. We've talked about that many times.
Yes, like my husband will be talking about something and he'll say, "Well, that doesn't taste right." I'll be like, "What?" And whatever it is that we were talking about has a taste to him. And I'm going, "Gosh, that's really weird." He's like, "Don't you get the same thing?" I'm like, "No, not for me at this point in time." But it's normal for him.
Well, we had the time just lately when we received a phone call from this gentleman, and we were going to the store, and I parked the car, and he was telling us, he was explaining to us why something had happened. I asked a question about it, and he told us the story, he gave us the explanation, and then what did I say when he was done?
After the phone call, he lied. He lied. You heard that, but what he was saying was this: "I saw it. I saw the truth."
But then, what else did I add to that?
That the words were dry. It was as if they were just pasted on a wall. They had no feeling, no meaning behind them. They were just there, which is also how you knew that he was not telling the truth.
Right. You know, and to me, that happens all the time. It's not abnormal, but to somebody else, they might be like, "Wow, you can do that?" It's not something that I do. It just happens.
It just happens.
You know, or I walk in. You've always said that I have very sensitive
hearing
and
okay, I think my husband has photographic, phonographic memory, and because he seems to remember.
Are you making up words?
Yeah, probably. Photographic, I know is a word, but phonographic, being able to hear and remember everything you hear verbatim. But then what I learned is it's not that he remembers everything he hears. He's actually shown scenes, like from a movie, of everything that was said.
Right.
So he doesn't really remember it. It's just replayed back to him. I think, wow, I would love to have my own movie theater in my head where I could recall all these things, you know? That would be so cool. Rewind that tape. Let's go back to that year, you know?
But that's why, you know, after a while, when I tell somebody something, no, I didn't say that. You know, right?
Oh, he used to do it to me all the time. I really struggled with memory issues, which are getting better. That's a whole nother topic for another video. But my husband and I would be having a conversation and be like, no, you said this. And he'd be like, no, I did not. This is exactly what I said. And he'd go through the entire conversation, and as he would say it, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that now. But well, don't tell me I said something when I didn't say it. And I'm like, I'm sorry. That's just how I remember it. My remembering is not the same as my husband's at all. My memory. But see, the words I use are not even the greatest, but it's okay. We get the point across.
Uh-huh. So what's the point?
My point is that I think everybody has something like that. Some kind of crossing, as I'll say, of the senses. And because I know for me, as soon as you say, let's have some lemonade, oh, immediately I get the taste of lemons in my mouth, and you know, my mouth starts to salivate. And that might be true for a lot of people, but for some people it's not. I think that there's a degree of it that everybody has it, and I think as we develop ourselves, it becomes more apparent.
And when you say develop yourself, what do you mean?
On a spiritual level, with our connection to the spiritual realm, like different abilities of being able to tune into.
Right, but that's it. I don't consider developing yourself, because
okay.
I know they have all these different movements out there.
Right.
And this is not a movement, you know. If you use the tools, if the folks that are watching this video use the tools that have been posted, mm-hmm. whether on YouTube, and then I know we have some exclusive ones in the Facebook page,
group,
right?
Not
Facebook
the page,
group?
the group,
Facebook
right? Not
group.
the page. Mm-hmm.
If they just use those tools instead of just look at them as video, as entertainment, mm-hmm. they're going to improve. They're going to grow spiritually, because that's mm-hmm. what they're there for. You know, these are not recorded for individuals to just be entertained.
So is it more so strengthening your ability rather than developing it?
I'd say so, right?
Okay.
It's more, develop is also, because you're improving it, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You're improving your ability. The ability is already there. Mm-hmm. And as you strengthen it or improve on it, then it becomes clearer as to what your abilities are. You might not have all the things that someone else has, mm-hmm. but some things will definitely show. You know, and one of the things that everyone should focus on is just working on implementing the tools that they've been given. That's it. You know, we've had individuals come, or they'll contact, so is there a book I should read? Or
yes.
If there's a book, we'll let you know. If we're not guided to give you a book, there's no book. You know, you have enough tools already. Just use the tools that you're given, and it might be one or two things, but believe me, those one or two things, or those two things, will help you a whole lot more than a dozen things. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, you'll start to pick up on your connection with the universe will become clearer, and that's how it starts. But you don't need to go through, okay, let me go sit under a tree for 5 months. You don't need to do that.
Or start to learn to meditate for at least an hour a day.
Right. Or go on a special diet. Or, mm-hmm. you know, no. People talk about you should be vegetarian. No, that's, from my personal experience, is that's not necessary. Mm-hmm. Now, yes, you have to adjust certain things, but that comes with time. It's not something you have to force. Exactly. You should never have to force anything, and the Ascended Masters teach us that. Mm-hmm. Now back to the abilities, or some of the experiences that you've had or I've had. We talked about, for example, I would describe something to you and I say, well, yeah, this is really good. It's a brand new start. And do you remember how I would
Like
Smell it too,
it's
like a fresh smell.
like fresh air or fresh spring air, something like that.
Like April fresh.
April fresh.
Yeah,
There you go.
April fresh smell. You can smell the air.
The smell with this experience.
Exactly.
Is April fresh.
Exactly.
Really?
And so that never registered with you then?
No.
Why didn't you say so? I thought you understood when I say that.
Well, no, I understand the phrase. It's April fresh. I mean, just like a brand new start. It's April fresh. Oh yeah, it's crisp. It's new. So I understood that, but I didn't know you were literally saying that's how it smelled to you. Literally smelled to you.
Oh.
Now I understand that. I'm like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
So we weren't on the same page this whole time.
Oh no, we weren't. Not at all. Certain things smell a certain way. Oh, okay. Well, this has a certain taste to it. Oh, what were you eating? Whether he wasn't eating anything. So it's interesting.
Or just yesterday I walked into the living room and then I said, it smells of hickory.
Yes.
You didn't smell that?
No. I was like, hickory. That was actually this morning. We're not going to
this
get
morning?
technical.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
I'm smelling the air. I don't smell hickory. I just finished cleaning this room and now it smells of hickory. Okay. I don't know. Now I understand. It's just his perception, his senses crossing, giving him a different experience than me. Okay. Pretty cool.
So anyway, so these are just some of the things, right?
Right.
Or for example, what you have any more examples that you want to share in anyone?
Well, do you ever see colors when you hear music, or
Yes.
have smells or tastes of things when you just hear music?
Yes.
Will you give us an example? Can you think of one?
For example, if I hear what's that? Dun-dun-dun-dun, that song. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Is that
Yeah.
Beethoven? Symphony number 5.
Yes, I think so.
When I hear that, I taste cinnamon.
Ooh.
I actually taste cinnamon in my mouth. And I love cinnamon. So I love that song a lot. But every time I hear it, I actually get the taste of cinnamon.
Ooh. Okay, so sometimes we watch music videos like The Voice or other shows like that.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you, well, can you give an example of like when you've heard like a rock song or a heavy metal type song?
You're right. Those are, no.
What are those like for you? What sensations do you get?
Oh, it's terrible. It's like, when it's really heavy, when the ones with a lot of noise and, I don't know if
A
it's
lot of heavy bass guitar,
right.
type
Like that,
grinding
when it's like that,
music.
It feels like, as though I'm in like one of those rides where like they just shake, like you're just shaking like that.
Oh, no, I don't know that ride, but I wouldn't want to be on it.
Well, maybe something that it's just shaking you. You know, when you're
Okay,
just shaking.
just constantly shaking you?
Right, but they have something like that. I don't know if it's a ride or, but it's that you just.
I avoid most amusement parks. I do not like rides.
That's right,
I do not
that's
like
right.
those things. So.
But it's like you're just like somebody just shaking your body. It just messes up. I feel really irritated. My whole body becomes unsettled. That's why I don't like rock music at all. And if I listen to it long enough, depending on what type it is, I literally start to get a really bad headache. You know, and the moment I leave, then it's a whole different story. You know.
Okay.
And then remember the one. This is not music. Then they have other musics where I see, for example, it might be like a rainbow. You know, and those are sounds that are more mellow. They're really nice, calming. I actually see the rainbow with those, and those are the ones I say, oh, I don't mind hearing that song again, like that. Then just have the ones that are just literally entertainment. I don't see anything, and I just see them as they're entertaining. Okay. They're nice. They're enjoyable, but I don't see anything. But then I do feel. That's why I like country music, because I actually get feelings with country music. Don't you get feelings with country music? I always thought that
If I listen to the words, the words might move me, but
no,
otherwise,
just the music itself.
I don't have that too often.
Huh. So actually, that's why I like the music, because the music actually provides me with a feeling. You know, and some feelings are, when they're too sad, I don't want to hear it, but you know, they have the ones that are just very nice. But those are the ones I have a lot of feelings with. That's why I love country music so much.
Okay.
It's that my experience with country music is different than with the other music. I like the ones, the rainbows. You know, but
How about like when I listen to Celine Dion?
yes.
Is that just music, or do you get anything with that?
Some of those I get like the rainbow type feeling. That's
Okay.
why that's why I like. That's one of the performers I listen to from you. And Dolly Parton.
Yes, love Dolly Parton.
Yeah, she just her voice alone. When I hear her voice, it's like a musical instrument. I literally hear like a musical instrument
Wow.
when she's singing. I don't hear the words that she's singing. I just hear the tone, and I can literally see the music.
And that's happened in the car, where a song of hers will be playing, and I'll start singing the words, and all of a sudden my husband will look at me and say, "Oh, is that what she's saying?" I'm like, "We've been listening to this song for years, and you have no idea what she was saying in the song?" Okay.
See, but now that I think about it, that also explains, I've told you many times that I'll hear a song and say, "Oh, I've heard this song since I was a kid." And then and then you start saying the words, so don't say the words.
Right, the words mess it up for him.
Because I've never listened to the words. I don't listen to the words of a song.
It's just the rhythm.
It's just the rhythm.
The melody
just the
and
melody,
harmony.
Right. That's all I see.
I've messed up a few songs for him because I'll start singing the words and he's like, no, stop.
Because the words are...
The words are not good.
Right.
The music is great. The words, no.
But I didn't know the words, so I didn't know they were no good
Until I started singing them.
Exactly. You know? It's like the one with the lady and the breast lady.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that music. See, that explains the whole thing now, because I heard the music and I was enjoying the music.
Yes, it's a Toni Braxton video with Il Divo, and it's a beautiful song. I forgot the name of the song right now, but and she's there singing, and she's wearing this outfit where her breasts are like almost completely exposed. And my husband said, "Oh, listen to this song. It's so great, and it starts off so nice and beautiful. The music is awesome throughout the whole thing, but like halfway through, she's almost naked." And my husband just like jolted awake, like, "What? You just ruined the song for me."
Now I'm unable to watch the music video because my wife mentioned that. So I see the lady now, I see her
Even
breasts.
when he hears the song, he thinks about that.
Yeah, just messed up the whole song. So see, this is the way the brain works, and all of us have that ability. You know, where we should be able to. Well, it's one thing. For example, that's why they said that the Buddha says, right? Everything you see is a mirage.
Right.
That's literally true, because you see this, but if you really pay attention, there's more to it than that, because there are multiple dimensions. So maybe we're operating at different dimensions.
Oh yes, my husband definitely operates at a different dimension.
Is what's going on.
In different dimensions.
Well, you remember the one where we took our son back to Vanderbilt, and he said he was so excited about going to this barbecue place. So that one comes to mind. Our eldest son. And then he said, "Oh, I want to go to this barbecue place. I heard about it. It has the best barbecue." And then we went there. Do you remember?
If it's the one I'm thinking about, as soon as we stepped out of the car, you almost vomited.
Exactly.
We had to leave.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right. But
Just the smell.
But why did I want to vomit? I thought it was just a smell, but it wasn't just a smell. I actually tasted.
You could taste the animals that were being cooked inside the place.
So I was throwing up because I was actually tasting the pork. I even started to feel the bumps and things. So why would I taste something that I don't even see? I'm not even close to it. I never thought about that till now.
Yeah, because of you working in a whole different area than me.
So he never got to buy the
Yes, he
barbecue.
never got to try that barbecue.
I had to leave. So sorry. that you never tasted the barbecue if you're watching this video. But that goes back, and I never thought about, oh, why did that happen? I just figured, oh, I'm allergic to pork. But I didn't even see it. We didn't even go inside.
We didn't. We literally stepped out of the car, and my husband took a step and he said, we have to leave. And he vomited, and I was like, whoa, this is unusual. So we just got back into the car. It took him a while to calm down. We had left, and we had to go somewhere else to eat.
So, another example for you.
Yes. Thank you.
Now, if you have something similar to this, please let us know. And is it some kind of medical condition? According to medicine, it is.
Right.
As far as we're concerned, it's not. This is part of who you are as a spiritual being. You should be able to operate at different dimensions, and you see
Different
one
levels.
thing but hear something else, or someone's telling you one thing and then you hear the truth, you know?
Now, as you're saying that, I'm thinking of actually my brothers, because they were diagnosed as being dyslexic, because all of them see things three-dimensionally. And because of that, my mom had to take them to a special learning center so that they could learn to focus and take those three-dimensional objects and put them to use in order to be able to do math and reading and everything else. So thinking about that, I'm thinking, whoa, if they're thinking in three-dimensional ways, and that's what's explained by this one guy who has math synesthesia. As soon as he starts to go through math problems, he says all these figures come into his head, and it can have colors and waves, it can have dots or sticks, but it just all of a sudden forms into these pictures, and that's how he does math in his head. And I was just blown away by that, and I thought, you know what, I'm wondering if a lot of kids are being diagnosed with like the ADD, ADHD, and dyslexia and stuff when they're actually experiencing this, and no one knows how to help them with it.
It's highly possible. Keep in mind, again, people in medicine try to do their best, right?
Yes.
Best that they know.
Right.
But there's so much that takes place in the spiritual realm that if people are open to other possibilities, I don't think people will be diagnosed for certain things.
Right.
Because there are literally explanations for everything someone goes through. We've had individuals that doctors can't come up with a diagnosis for.
Right, indeed.
But then we go into the spiritual realm, start working on them, all of a sudden they're healed. Well, how is that possible? Because medicine only deals with a small portion. It's still helpful though, you shouldn't avoid medicine.
Oh, indeed, it helps a lot.
But it only deals with a small portion. You know, God, after all, gave man the wisdom to create medicine, right? So, but he's still the ultimate authority on how to resolve anything. And that's what we are. We deal with the direct source. And it's a wonderful experience. So you will have these experiences. You know, and then my wife, like, I don't know if she tries to tell me stories, but it doesn't work if she ever tries, so that's the funny part. Like, you thought about you're afraid to tell me stories.
Oh, you mean like lies, fibs?
There we go, right?
Oh no, if as soon as I might even try to start, you're like, and I'll change and I'll say you're right, and I'll just go right to the truth. I won't even try to skim over it.
Yeah,
So
I'll be like, don't
try
even
those
try.
little white lies to surprise him with something, and just keep my mouth shut. When he's around, I literally put a brick wall up in my mind so he can't, get any thoughts from me, hopefully. Still does sometimes, but oh well. I hope this video has helped you in some way. Please remember to share it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, and we will see you in the next video.